Well, thank you for making time today. And more importantly, congratulations for all the success so far. I hope more audiences keep finding your films. You all have, I was on the programming team. I'm still on the programming team. But what struck out to me specifically is how very extraordinary each of these films have been when I was watching them. And I choose that word, that specific word, extraordinary, because at least for me as an audience, I found that all your stories are anchored in everyday realities and routines, yet you all have, in your own very distinct manner, managed to elevate them into these opportunities for meditation on what it even means to be human and show up every day and do life. So it was really a very beautiful experience watching all these shorts. Divya, your documentary spotlights the life of a paparazzi, something we often don't get to see. And what really, really shines through is the radical empathy, I would say, with which you have given shape to Manoj, your main protagonist's life. We can't help but root for him. But more importantly, what I left wondering is how much we as consumers of media are complicit in a paparazzi's constant battle for survival. And I absolutely appreciate that take you have adopted while filming this documentary. Kalani, your film, Family Man, I don't have the grammar to talk about the experience, that very terrifying experience of a father's disappearance. It is a terrifying reality. But you have expressed that with a film which is not only visually stunning, but also very evocative. And what really stood out to me was how cleverly you have used these static shots to make room for the audience to sit with stillness, which gradually reveals what's at stake. And that tragedy gradually creeps up on you. Apurva, for your film, Blessings, Maaybaapache, Aashirwaad, you examine something that is not often talked about, and it's a shame we don't talk about it. This burden we place on Indian parents when expecting them to be these perfect, flawless, godlike figures whose only job is to show up as selfless beings. And we deny them their humanity when we do that. God forbid, sometimes I have had such unrealistic expectations from my own parents, and it is not fair to them. And what was so impressive is Black comedy is not an easy tool. So I could see the risk yet restraint you had adopted when treating a topic like that. So, keeping all these wonderful things in mind, I would like today's conversation to be as organic and free flowing as possible. Much like how a film gets made, I recently finished shooting my first short film, and that organized chaos really is fuel for me. So, I would love to get to know a little bit about what this filmmaking process was for you guys. And I know, like, Kalani made a documentary about the making of Family Man, is something I noticed. The film about the film is always exciting. So if Kalani, you can lead this
Yes,
conversation, how that was like for you.
I always make a documentary about the making of my films because I know that if the film doesn't end up too good, at least the documentary will be interesting. So it's like a great contingency plan. And a lot of films in history have been like that. Um, Werner
Mhm.
Herzog's Fitzcarraldo is interesting, but the documentary about
Yes.
the making of it is such an exceptional film. So it's something I do as a little backup, but also I love to archive and preserve the process and share what I learned. Um, I've always wanted to work on other directors' sets. There's so much I'd love to learn about how other filmmakers create their films. So I try and share what I've gone through in case it's helpful for anyone else. Um, there's always something to learn.
And you were shooting in such challenging circumstances. There was a rain machine I read on
Yeah.
set that needed to be engineered. There was a wild animal on set. You were also working with a non-actor. When I was watching the film, I watched it again. I couldn't help but wonder how you managed to balance all that chaos with a film which is so sensuous and calm and tranquil. Like how do you go about navigating all the demanding needs of a set while also staying grounded enough to make sure every scene you want doesn't lose the tone you're going for?
Mm. I think my threshold for chaos is a bit different to other people. So for me, having those elements that are kind of stressful and a bit unpredictable was also my way to feel zen and um, alive in the process of it all. And that feeling is very important for me to feel like I'm creating something meaningful or interesting. Um, and
Hard relate.
I think I'd struggle making a film in a very contained, safe environment. I think I would lose my mind, boredom. So I just create the circumstances which I know will help me be creative and bring out the best in me.
That's wonderful to hear. Apurva, how about you? Were there any anecdotes you want to share? Was there ever a moment you felt like it is all getting too much, or does that work as motivation for you?
Not a moment. There were like probably like 10,000 moments in a day when I felt like, okay, should I give up now? I think I can give up now. I think this is the right time to give up. But yeah, it does work as fuel, because otherwise it's just if you know everything and if you have everything and if you are just shooting, then what are you really doing? Also, when there is chaos and there arises a need for something, then you are more bound to innovate, and something
Right.
amazing always comes out of that. Not that I would want chaos on my next films. So, uh, yeah, not like I don't remember any anecdote off the top of my head right away. But I shot in my hometown, and it's always I felt like it'll be very accessible and everything. But people there do not know what a shoot really is and how permissions are given. So I didn't have permissions for most of the locations that I shot in. One of the locations was a reserved forest, and I was like very, very scared. That was the first day, and I was very scared what happens if someone comes there and just asks us to stop shooting. And I have 30 people there just waiting. What do we do? But that didn't happen, thankfully. Uh, yeah, there were many, many such anecdotes where things were falling apart, but then, team just comes together. In those moments, also, the team, shows that strength and to like really work for the bigger cause that is a film and to come together and innovate something and things happen. So
How about you, Divya? Yours is a documentary, so I can also imagine some of the ethical challenges that surface while filming one. So
Yeah.
anything you would like to
So,
share?
yeah. So mainly, I don't think in terms of challenges there were any challenges while making the film. I had a lot of fun while
Oh,
making the
nice.
film.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
So it was a lot of fun because I was just in the process. I was also studying at that period of time in FTII, and on the weekends I used to come and shoot. So it was dabbling between my studies, and also on the weekends I used to go and have fun. And the only challenge was finding the right protagonist or the right person to film. That was the only biggest challenge. Like, I think that took a lot of time. And the second thing that took some time is to build trust with my protagonist. So that these two were the parameters that, because what was happening is I was pitching it to a lot of PAPs while I was doing my research, and most of them used to reject me because they used to not take me seriously or something like that. So look, they used to just reject me on the face, so which was disheartening. But how I found Manoj is also quite interesting. This anecdote I can share actually.
Yes,
What
please.
happened was yeah, so what happened was I had gone for a screening of Past Lives, and it was a rainy day. And during this period of time, I was pitching this film with PSBT for the grant to get for them to greenlight the film. And I did not have anything. I did not have a protagonist. I just had a world. My earlier idea was intervening in the world of paparazzis. Okay. So on this fine day when I go to the screening, I see like a lot of paps at the screening. And I had gone for the screening of Past Lives. And then I was suddenly like, how come so many paps are there for a screening of Past Lives? Then further inquiry, I got to know it's not the screening of Past Lives that they've come for. They have come for Kartik Aaryan's new Bollywood film. And so everyone had just gathered over there, and I was pitching this film. So I was like, maybe this is the right time because, anyways, my screening is getting late. So this is just the right point of time when I should go and ask people. So I asked my friends, "Sorry, I should go. Should I go and ask?" They're like, "Ah, go, just go and ask. Come on." Then I start asking people, all these paps have aligned near the red carpet. I'm like, hi, sir, I'm a documentary filmmaker. I want to make a film on you guys. So they were just clicking photos. They were not caring enough only. So matlab, they used to just, not interested and all because they were also busy in their work. So what happened is I pestered one person for so long that he eventually gave up and just gave me his number. He was like, take it, get in touch with me. But then I was dejected because almost five, six people had rejected me on the face. So I turn and then I hear something and I turn and it's like just something very magnetic and very attractive to hear and to see. And here is Manoj, my protagonist. He's doing some theatrics and he's leading the whole Paps. He's leading the whole full tribe of Paps. And I'm like, oh damn, who is this guy? He's so attractive and so like so full of energy. But then I was like, should I ask him? It was almost like love at first sight. So I was like, should I ask him? Then I was like, yeah, you should go and ask him. Whatever happens, happens. Just go and ask. The problem was there were bouncers on both ends. So I had to run in the center, go and ask him. So I was like, chalo, let's go. Then I went to the center. I went towards him. I was like, hi, sir. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I want to make a film on you. He's like, he's clicking photos. You want to make a film on me? I'm like, yes, I want to make a film on you. Will you be my film's hero? Like, your film's hero. I'm like, yes, sir. He's like, okay, done. No problem. And he's clicking photos. The bouncers come to catch me. And in that whole chaos, I forget to take his number. Then I'm like, sir, number dijiye. So he gives me his number and then I walk away. And his screening ends, my screening ends. Then I finally get to know that he comes down, he's smoking a cigarette. And I ask him, who do you work for? He's like, I work for Viral Bhayani, which is one of the biggest PAP pages in India. So I like, oh wow, that's a great jackpot. And then he says, check my Instagram. And then I check his Instagram, and he had 92,000 followers, and all the big celebrities were following him. So he was like, I have been doing this for 15 years. Then on that period, on that day, I was like, oh, this is the guy. This is my protagonist. And then I developed my pitch around him. And then it was a challenge to kind of gain his trust. It took some time because he was not comfortable showing his personal life at first. So he was like, whatever you want to shoot, don't come to my house and shoot. You shoot me in the like outside when I'm working, whatever you want to do, but don't come to my house. But then our trust and friendship grew over a period of time. So in the fourth month, he was like, "Oh, Divya, when are you coming to my house, bro?" I was like, "Yes, that's the victory of the trust that we built over a period of time." But apart from that, no other challenges. It was like because the crew was so limited. It was a lot of fun shooting the film, and yeah, such like this was my quickest turnaround film. Like in all the films that I've tried to make, this was the quickest one. So yeah.
What a story. And even when you were describing it, I could almost see it play out in front of my eyes. Also, because Bombay is so Bombay. That is such a Bombay story.
Yeah, absolutely. And
And
very
that,
filmy.
bahut, it's very, very filmy. Which brings me to my next question. In a way, you already have answered that. But casting for a film really is half the battle, especially when it's performance-based work. And by that, I don't mean that the actors necessarily constantly have to have dialogue. But I would now like to hear from Kalani and Apurva what your process was when, for instance, for Kalani working with a non-actor, like how did you collaborate with them? And Apurva, your film has got just the perfect meter in terms of delivery and embodiment because it does express an exaggerated sense of acting. So how did you go about that? So Apurva, just if you can lead with this, and then I'll like to hear from Kalani.
Yeah, I had like of course I had I had made a list and I had put down all my options, like top options, ye wo. But and these actors, the actors that I have are pretty famous, like popular in Marathi film industry. So I thought, like, why would someone do their like, if I'm doing my first short film, why would they agree to do it? I was doing all that overthinking. And then I went, like, just like Divya's anecdote, I went for the screening of Joram. And the actress in my film is plays a villain in Joram. And she played it so well, but she looks like very, very old in that. That's just her look in that. And but she was there. It was the Mami Film Festival, and the cast and crew were attending, and they were there for a Q&A after. And I saw her, she's like just perfect for that role. And we already had her on our list of top cast, but we were like, okay, now she's the one that we have to approach first. Then yeah, that was that. And then even the male actor, the main lead, he is like pretty famous. So we knew about him and we wanted to cast him. So we approached both of them, and both of them asked for the same thing, a narration of the screenplay. Once that was done on the same call or like meeting, in the meeting, they were like on board. So I had thought very ki, oh my God. In the first call and all, they were like, okay, first short film. So I thought, okay, I'll have to think of some other people now. But once they heard the screenplay, they were on board because the characters are so lucrative for actors to play. These two characters specifically are kind of interesting for actors to play. They were like on board. And for the rest of the cast was quite a challenge. Because we didn't want to, all the secondary cast that you see in the film was quite a challenge because we didn't want to cast everyone from Mumbai and then like take them all to Aurangabad to shoot. So that would be problematic logistically. So we tried to cast from my hometown, which that was a nightmare because people would say that, yeah, yeah, of course, I will send you an audition right away. And then it's like 5 days, still nothing. So, do you want to do it or not? But yeah, finally, that also came through and somehow got made.
Did you rehearse with your actors?
Yeah, we did. I did an actor workshop, and that was also quite a help with because black comedy script, whoever I sent it to was like, okay, this is dark, but where is the comedy in this? And then I also started getting very doubtful about it. Is it comedy? Is it not? But in the actor workshop on the first day, uh, we were just talking about the characters. And these two actors, they are friends in life. So they
Oh,
already
okay.
have a chemistry ki, you do this, then I will do this. I was like, oh wow, this is really something is happening here. But then they started reading one of the scenes, and I was like, okay, this is dark comedy. I don't need to worry about that anymore. That started to come alive. So we didn't rehearse much, but I did a 3-day actor workshop in which we just spoke about their characters. They wrote They wrote backstories of their characters. We had some like question answers for them, like fun, all fun, just fun. Like, what would your character do in this situation, that situation? What would you carry when you're going out of the house? What is that one habit? What is your favorite film? What is your favorite song? Everything. And they came up with such cute things, like because they are a very rural couple in the film. So they came up with things like so we this is the only film that we watched in theater as like a couple, and that is the only film we watch on TV whenever it comes on TV. So it's a very old Bollywood film that they were talking about. But yeah, they came up with cute things like that. And whenever, this I used to think like, Arey, how is this going to help me anywhere in the film? But it does. Because
Yes.
when you're
Yes.
doing a scene and you're stuck somewhere, you can be like, Acha, remember we talked about that and we can
Yes.
use that here. And you are thinking about that when you're doing this. So that really, really helps
Yes. Yes. I
to
think that
get the
clarity.
character. Yeah.
Yes, please go on.
So that really helps actors get in the like in the skin of their characters. So uh,
For sure,
that was very
because
helpful.
sometimes when they also layer in emotions in certain scenes, they're not just working with one single emotion, and all that backstory work becomes embodiment. And once in a
Yeah,
while, they'll unlock these very sincere moments that maybe were not even in the script.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
that gets
absolutely.
included in the final film.
Also,
Kalani,
sorry,
yeah,
one more thing, just
please
just
go.
one more
Yes,
thing.
yes,
Sorry,
yes,
sorry.
please, please, please.
Also, what helped was both of them are parents, and I am not a parent yet, at least. So,
Oh,
like,
word, yeah.
so they are parents, and they played it not with the intention of making it dark or comedy. They played it
Mhm.
with the intent of being a parent, as in with that embodiment they played it. So that also really helped. Yeah, I'm done.
Kalani, how about you? You worked with non-actors. How did you collaborate with them in a way that also allowed them room to have fun with it?
We were lucky we had a lot of time in our film. We, s- I think I spent around 2 months on the location with the non-actors, with some of the crew, and I was also just figuring out a bit of the story still. I rewrote a lot of it to adapt to the place which we'd chosen for the film. And we were so lucky we found our lead actor in the location we decided to shoot the film. We just spontaneously decided to go to the high school and run some auditions there. And the headmaster says, yes, please. We came in and we
Wonderful.
auditioned all the students. And there was a young girl, Pasang, and she looked at us like she already knew she was going to be in the film. It was very interesting. She was so confident that she was selected. And she gave a really beautiful, sweet audition. And then we went back to her house and met her family and did another part two just so I could make sure I was making the right decision. I got more confidence then. And Pasang she was a monk all her life and recently just retired from being a monk and came back to join the world at the age of 18. Had the most beautiful energy and wisdom and innocence and said she always knew one day she would act in a film. And I guess we were part of that destiny of hers to help it come alive. And then we needed time to get to know each other, and also I wanted time to spend in the world of the film. I needed time to understand how to bring it all together, and as I'm working with that, the entire village is an opening scene of the film.
Yes.
So the opening scene, everyone's there, and we had to have time to convince them all to get in the film as well, because we needed them all for that opening moment. So we just needed some time to spend there and to drink together and to eat together and to show them that we're making something that they might also enjoy. And we promised we'd have the first screening back in the village, and we did. We did do that. We followed through with our promise. Um, and I really love working with non-actors. It's such a magical thing for me. I There's this real alchemy of bringing someone who's lived a life quite like the character you're trying to portray and learning about the character from them and having them teach you about the character. I love that surrender in the process. And I find myself often with more questions than answers for the actors.
Mm.
It's my job just to let go and help and give them the space and permission to really discover it. And with Pasang, it was a lot of that. And we spent a long time talking about the scenes, and we did a bit of rehearsal, but not much because we wanted some things to come up fresh and feel organic and experience things uniquely for the first time when the camera rolled. I had a really great time, and it was such a privilege to be able to work like that, to have that time and space to slowly piece things together and be sure of things. Often on set, when the camera's up and everyone's there, the time is so precious, and every minute
Yes.
can feel like a decision of money. And to have time before then to get to know what you're doing and be confident about it was a real blessing in this project. And I hope I can work like that again because it was really special.
Listening as a director is such an important tool, and it's one of many because as directors, you all bring so many different skills to the set, and even before that, even during prep work, not just on the set. And then there is post production, and then there's talking about your film and marketing that and submitting to festivals. I'm always curious to know about the minds that go behind making such beautiful work. Are there other art forms that you all engage with or other pursuits outside of filmmaking that you feel help you grow as a director and bring about that roundedness? Divya, you want to take that one first?
I'll go second.
Or you'll go second? All right. So then,
I'll
Kalani,
go third.
okay, let's do that then.
What happened?
I think we are
You are the
hoping you
one.
will take the lead on this again.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are the one.
It's such a good question. I love it because sometimes I feel so fixated and obsessed about filmmaking. I have to remind myself to enjoy other things. I have to make a note in my diary, like, okay, on the weekend, spend at least one day not thinking about filmmaking and enjoy life outside of filmmaking because I'm so hyper fixated on it. But the second I engage with my other parts of my life, I get so rewarded from it, and it helps become a better filmmaker and storyteller. So I love this question so much, and I can't wait to hear how you guys answer it because I'm struggling to think right now. But I love to travel, and I'm so fascinated by people. I'm such a people lover. I just love people. I love listening to them. And I've spent so much of my life traveling by foot and just sharing, listening to story. And I've done a lot of walking in the Himalayas, and wherever I travel to, I like to walk around the country and try and do a loop because I'm also just addicted to food and trying new food out. And that brings me to new places and meeting new people. And I feel like it's a great hobby that's very in line with filmmaking too, because I'm just collecting
Yes.
stories everywhere I go. A bit of this, bit of that, and some things just stick and they don't give me any chance to shake it. It is stuck with me. And every film is just trying to get it off.
I think I think it's I wish I could spend much more time investing in other art forms and like I wish I had that time. So right now the situation is it's very difficult to kind of sustain yourself as an independent filmmaker in Mumbai. So it becomes more of when you're invested into making your film and making your living as a filmmaker. So therefore, there's not much time. But whenever I get time, I make sure to watch. Like I love theater, so I try to watch live performances as much as possible. So as many live performances as I can in a month. And apart from that, as Kalani said, walking is something I
Yes.
can do at least. So walking in the city, like in Bombay also, and in places where I'll visit. So that's something that I enjoy quite a lot. But after this question, you've me put me into an existential
Oh
crisis
Lord, no, that
of
was not my
making
intention, man. That was not it.
of making sure to explore other art forms much more than what I'm doing right now.
I mean, it's not just even art forms like, do you bake?
Mm.
I'm not saying you gotta start baking now, but I have noticed that, like, for instance, my husband, he's a Renaissance man. He can draw, he can take photographs, he can cook, he can do a whole bunch of other stuff. And not everyone has the time, luxury, or privilege to even do that. But I do find it very curious how one person can blend in this one other aspect of their life into something else they do in their day job, right? There's just no one way to go about your life. So it's always very fascinating for me to hear what life lessons people have learned or what insights they have gleaned, which then inform their filmmaking process. And walking is a great one.
I have actually once you said like this
Oh, there
busy
you
part,
go. Yeah.
then I wish to have a bakery and I wish to hope
Oh, how
I hope to
sweet.
yeah, I hope to quit filmmaking someday. And then I can
Hey,
just
झूठ बोल रहा है, झूठ बोल रहा है.
He's lying, isn't he?
figure out how to make breads. So that's what I would love to do. I have also in this constant quest of like, what else can I do apart from filmmaking? Some days I'm like, I'll be a massager and a bakery person, like open my own bakery someday. So I'm figuring that out. So
Nice,
let's
nice,
see.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
But I wish to open my bakery someday.
Please
That's going
invite
to be,
us. We
yeah.
will show up. We will
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
please,
show up.
please. You guys have to.
How about you, Apurva?
Yeah, like everyone else in the city, I am also busy earning to pay my rent and apart from trying to make films. And but I also edit for that. So I take up commissioned editing work. But apart from those two things, there's one thing like I have engaged in interesting things on and off. But one thing that I always do from since I am a child, since then that has been a constant is I read a lot. I like to read. I like to read before I sleep.
Yeah.
That really grounds me. And I hate reading for a purpose. Like I hate reading thinking that this is something I'll put in my film, or I hate reading this is something I'll adapt. I hate that. So I hate the idea of reading with people. I hate book clubs. Sorry, the idea is to tell what you like, but I'm just talking about what I hate. But I love to read. I love to read on my own terms, and I love to read something that I don't have to do anything about. That's what I really
I
like.
know. Leisure.
Yeah,
Yes.
reading for leisure is something that I love and do always.
When do you all know your film is ready for the world to see? Post-production can be such an endless loop of chasing perfection. At what point is it a feeling you all get? Yeah, this is it. This is now ready. Or is it, oh, you know what? It's never going to be ready. But some people have told me it is, so I'm going to put it out there. Or is it like a checklist you go through that you abide by? Apurva, since you're already on, when do you know? When did you know this film was ready?
I am very impatient. My editor wanted to edit it way more than I wanted to. So
Okay.
I didn't edit my film. So he used to like every morning he would tell me something. Oh, I tried to do this and I tried to do that, and I was like, let's just get done with this so that we can move on. But essentially, like you mentioned, it is a feeling. It is a feeling that it is ready now. It is there, and uh, since I also edit, I know that getting into that rabbit hole sometimes makes it worse after a point. So what I follow is at every stage, like after edit, after sound, after color, I take feedback from a certain set of people, and I trust them as much as I trust myself. So if majorly my feeling is that it's there and people are also saying what people are saying, either it's not possible because not you send it to someone for feedback and they don't know what the footage is. So they will tell you something which is not possible and you know it is not possible because you've tried or you've thought about it. So if it is that, then if it is something like very groundbreaking, then like I make it a point to go back and try that out. But if it's just enhancing things here and there, then I know it is there, and it's just that it's just a feeling.
In the editing, editing can be so magical, and you can really save a lot of things and elevate a film in ways really didn't seem possible before. And then, you don't just think you're done the first time, you go and do it a second and a third time. And there comes a point when you get very diminishing returns from all this extra time and effort into it. And there comes a point when you think, or when I think, all right, I probably have to let go now because the changes I'm trying aren't actually helping the film anymore. I've reached the limit of what I can give the film. Um, and I really wanted to edit Family Man myself, and I edited myself mostly because I wanted the lessons from it all. And I'm glad I did it. And it was a relatively easy film to edit because of all the long one-shot takes. There wasn't that much stuff to play with within scenes. It was more structural, big picture, pacing, and the use of silence that I really had the chance to play with. And then, yeah, there's like this sobering feeling when you realize it's time to let go and give birth to your next child. Something else might need you more right now. And it's a bit of a grief because a film is like having a child in a way. You hold on to it, you raise it, bring it into the world. You don't want to let it go, and then you have to.
Yeah. Yeah, they talk about the lull before the storm, but they don't talk about the quiet after it that follows.
Yeah,
The kind of withdrawal you can feel if you don't have something else already churning your
totally,
brain.
totally,
Yeah.
yeah. After the shoot, everyone gets the post-shoot blues. It's so much,
Yes.
it's so alive shooting the film, and afterwards it's like, fuck, who am I?
Divya, how
For
about you?
me,
When do you know?
yeah, for me is the deadline. Is is the
Nice
deadline.
one. Yes, the
Yeah.
deadline.
So yeah, so with this film, it was like very deadline specific. We had to submit. So I'm like, okay, let's lock it. And then a month prior the deadline, the edit got locked because we were shooting and editing simultaneously. But the honest answer is the deadline, and it helps. It has always helped with my previous films also. So
You know, the next question, and I wasn't too sure if I should throw it like that at you guys, but there's no other way to go about it. And I'm sincerely always curious about it is, do you make films for yourself or do you make one for an audience?
who's going
Who
first?
wants to go first? Who's going first? You know what, Divya? You are going first because you're
Oh,
unmuted. Go
okay.
for it.
Okay, I'll go. I'll go. When I'm making the film, I'm making with the intention of whether I am liking it or not. I don't think or care about the audience that much. Uh, it's eventually when you start shaping it, then you eventually make it for a larger audience. You want your film to be watched by as many people as possible, and you want to make it as accessible as possible. But that's not when I'm making it. That's not the intent of it. So when I'm making it if I am liking it in a particular way. Because in the previous films, it has worked for me in some way. So I have tried to keep that process and I've tried to follow that process. So I make it with the intention of if I like it or not, and then open it to a wider audience. Because if I like it and I see it as a viewer, I'm very objective in my process of editing. I'm very brutal at times whenever it's required. So, but the idea is to also make matlab, if people watch it then it's great matlab, like because then I feel like the circle is quite completed if people watch it. So it's with the intention that people watch it, but while making it I make it for my own like for my own self, but it's not with the intention of like being self-indulgent. I make it with the pretense that people might like it, or people might have something about it, might like it, dislike it, anything, but they'll have an opinion about it at least. And the idea is to make it as accessible as possible. That is my intent, and to not make a boring, dreary film. That is number one goal for me actually while making any film, is to make it engaging and accessible to people.
I hear you. Apurva?
The way I look at it is like I don't see a difference, because I can only make a film the best version of itself that I can make. I cannot make it like someone else would have. I don't think it's fair for one to have this baggage while making it.
Yeah.
Later you can think about it. In hindsight, it's always like you something when someone asks you a question, or why did you do this particular thing, then it seems like there was a big master plan to it all. Usually, I don't know, it's not like you're always struggling between uh, two or three ideas of how to do a particular thing, and then you put them in categories that this is what I like and this is what people will like, and okay, let me choose what people will like. It's not like that. I am people. I am a watcher. I am
Yes.
a viewer of films. So I don't look at it
Yes.
like I can only make what I can make.
That's such a great line, what you said. You can only make what you make, what you can make, and nobody else can make it the way you make
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, when
Yes.
possibly when I get famous, I can put it on a t-shirt and sell it.
Rooting for you. Yes, for sure. How about you, Kalani?
When I watch my films back, especially a few years after, or many years after I finished them, it's only then I realized that I was just making a film I wanted to see myself. But in the moment, it's impossible to have that clarity. But when I watch it back, I think, who would want to watch this? But this is a film just for me, specifically for my tastes and my strange interests and strange eyes. Um, I felt that strongly watching my earlier films back. But for Family Man, I have to also be honest that before making it, I'd traveled to a lot of film festivals and I was really brainwashed in a really good way by all the amazing talent I watched at those festivals. And I just thought I would love my film to play amongst them. So I had this programming of what kind of language I should make my film within to be up on the same stage as my idols. So I think definitely I had this inner goal for my film to belong amongst these other films I've been watching and been inspired by. And I knew I wanted it to be of a similar world and vision to those. So I think a bit of both for this one, to be honest.
Speaking of aspirations and idols, are there any films you all watched recently, from recent memory? Doesn't have to be something that was released in the last couple of years, but something you watched recently that you wish you were a part of or you were on set for.
So I watched this film called I, Poppy by Vivek Chaudhary recently, uh,
Yes, yes.
and which is a very interesting film, about a farmer, about a poppy farmer and his mother, like a poppy activist, actually a poppy activist, and his mother, who's a farmer of poppy farming. And it was very interestingly made, and it's a very difficult film to make in India. And like kudos to the crew and to the people, like to Vivek and his team, who made this. And it's quite difficult because to get funding for a film like that is difficult, because it's not adhering to the terms of the regime. It's going against the authority. So there are a lot of obstacles that I imagine that might have come while making that film. So yeah, and that's a film that I would also recommend for everyone to watch wherever they
It's a
can,
very
because
powerful
it's,
film.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not a film that I think will be released in India soon. So yeah, but and I wish I could be a part of their crew for a few days just to see how they were filming and what their approach was, because it's quite raw. And like the what I like the most is that the subjects in the screen reality and outside the screen, is there is no difference in that. And so you get to know that the filmmaker has a sense of respect and empathy towards them, and then he's trying to represent them to the best of their characters. So you don't feel like there's a, like he's manipulating or he's playing a trick with you guys. So that's something that I really like with the film. And it's
Yeah, it's a
entertaining and
very
engaging
brave
at the same
film.
time. Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is. It's a very brave film. It is timely, timeless even, and very, very powerful. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. Apurva?
Yeah, there's a very independent kind of Marathi film that I watched recently. It's called Tighi. English title is Motherhood.
Okay.
It's yeah. So it is about this like three women, mother, two sisters, and all three of them live in different towns until the mother falls ill, and the two sisters have to come back to their home. And like they have, all of them have grown apart. No, I think one sister lives with the mother, and the other sister comes back, and but the three of them don't have a really good like dynamic. And like once she comes back, things start happening, and they have to live together, and that that suffocation of you are now you have to come back and you have to live with that person and address things that you wouldn't have otherwise is like beautiful. And also I wish that I could have been a part of it, is that it's a kind of film that can be made within budgets that are given to first time filmmakers. And so I would have loved to see with the kind of decisions that they had to take, because it's a very intelligent screenplay and intelligent treatment where it doesn't let you feel that the film is an independent film, despite it has been made on a very, very like shoestring budget. Shoestring name, but yeah, low budget. So yeah, that's one film that I wish that I could have been a part of.
Hmm. How
And
about you,
many
Kalani?
others.
So many others. Yes.
Oh yeah, so I watched this film called Dao at the Berlinale
Okay.
a few months ago, and oh my God, I got obsessed with this film. I haven't ever seen a film like it. So bloody good. Oh my God. Not it's just set half in France, half in Guinea-Bissau, cutting back and forth between these two timelines without much story, and it was just mesmerizing. And I kept on looking for interviews and articles about the film. I just wanted to know how they captured that. Because it looks like mostly non-actors and mostly improvised moments captured cinematically, captured incredibly. And I read that they were just filming real events for hours and hours and hours, and then finding the rhythm and the moments in the edit to make it feel electric and um, capture the right rhythm. But they really just had a bunch of floating cameras around moments and filming it, almost documentary-like, but with people set up playing characters still. And I just wanted to know more about this process of how they captured such moments of truth and such incredible performances on the set like that. It's a 3 hour long film, but I was just glued the entire time thinking, how did they make this? I just want to watch the director work because that was magic.
I'm gonna look that one up too.
I
I'm
hope it
sure
gets
I'll
released.
find that on.
It's a
Yeah, I just want to even read about it. It sounds
I
very
know
interesting.
I hope it gets released. It's a kind of film that might struggle to find a theatrical distribution in a lot of countries. It's not for everybody. If you're looking for a story to follow, you might lose your mind in the first half an hour. But oh my God,
Exciting.
it is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I mean, with that, I don't have anything else to ask you guys today. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you
It's
all
it's been
have
great. Your
fun.
questions have been really amazing and so nice to hear everybody talk. I've never had a Q&A this interesting before. So thank you.